Greetings, Patrick here. 8 questions with. Happy Monday, everybody. Yes, sirree. It's another fun-filled week here on the show. We are getting into the nitty-gritty as far as Women in Horror Month goes. We only have 2 more weeks to go. We have this week here with 4 shows, and next week with 4 shows, and then one April 1st show that is going to lead us out of it until we get back to our regular routine. So we are. Hey, all you have to do if you're on Facebook, since we are dual streaming today, is to let Facebook know that it's okay. Give Facebook permission or StreamYard permission to use your name, and we'll be able to see who you are, and that would be awesome. Uh, Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. I should actually be able to find out who is in there. Let me bring my Facebook up here, and I will know who's talking with us. No, I think on the I think there's a little button there. It says here. Let's see. Wow, where is it? Try to think of where it is. I'll have to do that. I'll have to figure that out. I see who it is. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. So yes, we are going to be busy, busy, busy. There's our good friend Steven, the Horror Freak 85, the master of House of Horrors, uh, rocking and rolling. Um, so our guest tonight is going to be Lola Vegas. Lola Vegas is she is a very cool actress and model. She has appeared on 2 movies that she did with Min Collins. She did Fables of the Witching Hour, which is just now coming out. In fact, I'll probably be watching that as soon as this show is over with. I do got to review that. And she also appeared in Clown Fear. She's also a very well known model. She does a lot of modeling on her Instagram page. So she has a dual career in entertainment. Um, this is also a first for us. That Lola is also a little person. So this will be our first time talking to a little person on the show, and it'll be interesting because she'll have a unique perspective on how Hollywood works and how she gets work in the entertainment business. Um, I would think that the ceiling has risen higher for folks like Lola. I mean, she can do anything that I can do, and obviously we know that now. It's no longer a exception. It's like, okay, she's got skills, let's use her. So that's really a really cool way to look at things. I hope that's what we're going to find out from her. Obviously we know that Min Collins happens to think very highly of her skills because he's used her in 2 of his movies. And if not mistaken, it'll probably be more going forward because Fables of the Witching Hour is due to be doing a trilogy. So we'll find out what her role is in that. If she's part of the wraparound story, which means she'll be in every movie, which I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Hello, Echo. Echo's here. Yeah. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. You know the routine. Share us out when you can. That'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to this show quite a bit. Um, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Lola. She looks like she's just a ball of fire too. A lot of energy and very active. And so I'm looking forward to this. Um, she will be here with us within 10 minutes or so. Okay. Well, I should go ahead and while I get a chance, I should go ahead and tell you what the calendar is looking like. Looking at the calendar. So this week is going to be a fun week. We start off with tonight with Lola at here in about 10 minutes. Tomorrow night, we welcome actress and comic Lauren Faulkner will be here with us. She is also a ball of fun. Her and I are talking rock music on our Instagrams. I'm telling her the history of 4 non-blondes. and my sliver of the pie, and so that's a lot of fun. And she'll be here with us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, the lovely Audrey Neal will be here with us at 8 o'clock. We can't wait to talk to Audrey. Audrey is going to be doing the sequel to Slime Ball-orama that's being directed by Brink Stevens. She is appearing with Kelly Maroney and just Michelle Bauer and one other young lady. I've slipped my brain. Uh, that's what happens when you get a little older. But she'll be here talk about her career and being doing a sequel to one of the more iconic cult films that we know of in Slime Ballorama. I can't even pronounce that whole damn thing, but I know it's a fun movie. On the 23rd, we see the return of our friend Angel Bradford will be here with us. Angel was here before, and she has some awesome stories. She's not only is she an actress, she's also a makeup expert, SFX expert. But she's transitioned to mostly doing acting now. She is well in demand. She is very popular right now, and a lot of projects definitely want her to come on set as an actress. She's in demand as an actress. She's now up to 40 different credits, and she's got a ton of movies coming in. So Angel Bradford will be here on the 23rd at 8 p.m. And then next Monday, we are at a special 9 p.m. start time. We're starting an hour early next Monday, an hour early. We're starting later. We are welcoming in the Dolls of Horror, Jamie and Summer from the Dolls of Horror podcast. They're based in Las Vegas, and they will be with us on Monday, the 27th. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and that is I want to actually go out there and try to talk to more podcasters, and so you'll be seeing some of those coming out here on the show. Because podcasting is a lot of fun. It really is. And we've had a few on the show. We've had Brian Scuttle's been on the show. We've had Donna Mealy who's been on the show, who've run podcasts. We've had, of course, our very own John Henderson, Doomsday Crypt. He's had two different podcasts going on, one with Brett Wagner and one with Beatrice Boppel. So there you go with that. And we're going to be doing more. And there's Waffles. Speaking of podcasts, I think in 2 weeks, Reject Waffles or something along that line is going to be taken off here in 2 weeks. I'm not sure where it's going to be held at or any details or anything like that. I just know that Dan from Reject Films and Michael from Heroic Waffles are finally teaming up to do a live show. I had been after these guys to do this show for over a year. I think they're probably tired of me standing in the corner going like, yo, you two should be doing a show together. So they just decided to shut me the hell up and decide to do it. So they'll be coming out in 2 weeks, and can't wait to see what they have to offer for us. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. On the 28th, we have makeup artist and SFX artist Jamie Apple will be here. She's also a producer. She just dropped some information down today that her and her team are booked solid through 2023. They have projects going from today all the way to the end of the year. That's insanity. That's awesome news. See, Anthony says he's got a podcast. I did not know that, Anthony. I did not know that you had a podcast. I got a podcast, Bubba. He called me Bubba. All right. I like that. No, I didn't know you had a podcast, Anthony. Nope, did not know that. So Anthony has a podcast. Let's see, on the 29th at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We're only doing one show. Normally, when I do whenever I do a show across the pond, we generally run two shows. I'm running just the one. We're going to be talking with actress Sabrina Culver at 2 p.m. on Wednesday the 29th. And that will be a lot of fun as well. So if you got nothing to do during the afternoon, come out and hang out with me and Sabrina. She hails from. She has dual citizenship. She's an American and she married a Belgian, and they live in Belgium. And so she's able to work on both sides of the pond. So that'll be fun. And she's from Ohio, which really shouldn't surprise me. When I saw that she was from Ohio, I was like, "Of course you are," because everybody knows that right now we are red hot with Ohio, red hot Ohio right here. And then on the 30th, the last show of the month, but not the last Women in Horror show. This is the next to last, and we are welcoming back once again for the fourth time, for the number four time. We're welcoming back the lovely Christy Adams from Nightmare Toys. Now, everybody knows my secret about why I'm inviting Christy back every time. Um, it's generally under the pretense of talking to her, finding out what's going on at conventions, what's going on with Nightmare Toys. Business is blowing up. She's got great pictures with Chucky, Brad Dorff. I mean, things are just Alex Vincent. I mean, things are just blowing up for Nightmare Toys. It's gonna be a hell of a summer for those guys. But but I'm still hoping that Christy will find me a black Philip Funko doll. That's why I keep inviting her back. Like, have you found one yet? And one of these days, she's gonna actually surprise me and say, "Hey, guess what I got for you?" So cross your fingers. And then the very first show in April, it will see our turn to host podcaster and movie star and horror icon. We get the lovely Beatrice Bopple to come on in and hang out with us here on Eight Questions With. And yes, I'm very excited to be able to talk to Beatrice. I think she is terribly, terribly sweet, very sassy. She's on a Wednesday night with John from Doomsday Crypt. If you haven't seen the show, you need to do so after you watch our show, of course. Um, but I can't blame you if you go over there and hang out with her because she does have a really cute cat named Raleigh. So I understand that. All right, our guest is here. The lovely Lola Vegas is here. So let's go get her and let's go have some fun asking her some 8 questions. Yo, let's go. There she is.
Hi.
Hell yeah. Hi, Lola.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. We are doing well. We are doing well. How is Vegas?
Vegas is amazing. The weather is finally getting a little warm, so that's nice. Ready for pool season.
I know I've been seeing some of the pictures you've been posting. I'm going like, well, I'm glad that someone's got the weather because nobody else has it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
very, very lucky here.
uh I think you're the one. I have yeah, it was so cool. I'm going like, all right, so that's what it is. That's what it is. They're just like, yo, look at us in Vegas. We got the sun, we got the warm. And how cold is it over there again in Michigan?
Oh my God,
Like
in
like
Michigan,
yeah, like 32 degrees.
still like having snowstorms and stuff. Like 2 weeks ago, a bunch of power outages, and I don't miss that at all.
Are you from Michigan?
Originally, yeah, I'm from right outside of Detroit.
What city?
Warren.
Oh, nice. I know Warren. Yeah, we have friends over there.
All right, rock.
Wow, that's cool. I'm a little outside of Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay. That's where you are currently?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. So I'm sure we have been to several of the same places. Uh,
Prob-
DIA, Tiger Stadium,
yeah,
Fox Theater. Yeah, a lot of fun. Well, Detroit, it's still a little bit Detroit, but it is trying to get better. It is
yeah.
trying to get better.
It's
Um,
trash
it,
for sure.
it, it I've been here now for 24 years, and I haven't seen a whole lot of progress, but I have seen some. Still a pretty dangerous town,
Yeah,
and yeah.
yeah.
Um,
The
what,
heart of it. I recommend venturing out into like Kaju and Harper by yourself.
or going down and getting on the wrong side of 8 Mile.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up. It's funny because like I grew up on 9 Mile, so like I was right outside of that border.
It's weird too how that works. Like on the, it's funny because you were probably were you here when Coleman Young was mayor?
I don't think so. That doesn't sound familiar.
Um, Coleman Young used to be the mayor of Detroit, and when he took over office, he infamously basically told all the white people to go. He says that we don't need you here, we don't want you here, and they
Oh,
said fine. That's we're all right with that. And so it was called white flight, and all the white people left Detroit and went out to the suburbs, and Detroit has just imploded.
that's
Um,
because I knew about white flight, but I didn't know the story behind it. I didn't know that the mayor at the time was telling them to leave. I just
yeah.
assumed that they just left.
No, he basically told them that they weren't welcome in Detroit anymore, and they could leave. We didn't that Detroit didn't need them anymore. So a lot of the businesses and a lot of the folks, they just sold their houses and they bailed out, and then Detroit just collapsed on itself and just basically has pretty much been a cesspool since then. Actually, tell you the truth,
Yeah,
uh, you know, it's like watching a party of cannibals.
yeah,
Um,
oh, yeah. I remember I was there. The mayor that I remember, I was there during the Kwame Kilpatrick era.
Now, so honestly, was that the most disappointing thing that you've seen? That broke our heart.
I just
This
thought it was
is
like it was a. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
sure, yeah.
I just remember it being like a shit show. I feel like I was still young enough where I didn't really understand what was going on, but I just knew it was a shit show.
He could have been great. He could have been president. He could have been president. He had that sort of charisma to
Mm-hmm.
get things done. I mean, everybody was so excited for Kwame Kilpatrick. We really all were. Everybody was.
That's
We were just so excited to see him come into office. And then he got in here and he just was turned out to be just the worst thing the city ever didn't need. And
I remember.
still recovering from it. Still
What
recovering from it.
what was he like keeping money? I don't remember what he got charged for. I just remember it being crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, there was the question about a stripper being killed
Oh,
outside of Manugian Mansion.
yeah.
Because
I
yep,
now it's all coming back. Yep.
yep, there was that, and then there was all the perks that all he gave all his friends. He hung out with Bobby Williams, yeah, I think his name was Bobby Williams or Bobby Wilson, one of the two. And he was a thug and he had contracts with the city because Kwame got him. His dad was going out there soliciting business.
Gee,
It was like I said, it was just a shitstorm.
it was.
And
Uh,
then Steve Wilson, the Channel Seven, the news reporter from Channel Seven,
yeah.
he just made that his personal mission to expose Kwame for what he was, and he did.
Yeah.
And Kwame turned out to be not a nice guy at all, and he ended up doing prison.
It's just
Um, he's out. I mean, Trump actually let him loose, which really was shocking. Because
I did.
Kwame is a Democrat, but I think it was a political move. Trump was trying to curry favor with the African American community
Oh,
because Kwame still has his fans here, not
yeah.
nearly as many, but he still has his fans here. Enough to make noise in Detroit. It's like
Yeah.
for in the elections. So it was really surprising to see him let Kwame go because Obama didn't. Everybody thought all the Republicans were bitching about how they're going to let Obama's going to let Kwame out, but Obama said no, I'm not doing that. You did the crime, now you got to do the time. And then Trump let him out of all people.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
So yeah, there you go, chat. The history of Detroit going on here at 8 questions with. This is the Detroit out history hour. What how old were you when you left Detroit or Warren for
For
Vegas?
I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been
Uh,
out here. This summer will be 10 years.
yeah. You're just a youngster.
I am. I'm a
Yeah.
baby.
Um, So I only have one question for you. Well, I only ask one question for everybody. Oh, can you see the chat? Okay.
Can I see the chat?
Yes.
I see you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. I see that.
Okay. I will handle the I'll handle the chat. I'll let you know what people are saying here.
Okay.
Everybody saying hello to everybody. Everybody saying hello to you.
Hi guys.
Yep. Jimmy Joe is here from Ireland. Thank you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us, Jimmy Joe. See, you have an international audience here.
Ireland. Oh,
Yes. Like we get a lot of folks. We got Canada's here, Mexico's here. Wow, now I'm actually thinking about it. Yeah, there's a lot of people here from it's an international show, that's for sure.
anyone from Australia here? I'm trying to move to Australia, find me a boo.
Uh anybody from Australia? Do you say you want to find a boo in Australia?
Yes. If I
No.
go out there, I don't think I'm ever coming home. I'll fall in love. Those accents.
Mm. Have you been to Australia yet?
No, not yet. It's a bucket list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so only the first question I have is the only question I have preset, and that is, and we already, I guess we can already answer that. It was where were you born and raised at, and that would be Warren, right?
Mm. Yep, that would be. Fun fact, actually, I went to the same high school Eminem went to. I went to
Uh,
Lincoln.
oh, okay. Eminem, yeah, Eminem. That was fun. Another Detroit story, real quick. So I was doing live music out in California, and so my very last show I ever did before I moved out here was I did a show with Kid Rock. And so when he came over here, his name was Bob. And so he went over there. My wife knew his aunt.
Okay.
So so my mission was when I saw him, well, most of the time you go up there and say, hey, welcome to welcome to the club, whatever you need, let us know, whatever. My first thing to him was shaking his hand saying, hi, Bob. Not Kid Rock, not Rock. Hi, Bob.
Oh,
Your auntie Diane said to say hello.
that's awesome.
he, he just he just stood and looked at me for a second and go like, oh, he goes, because Diane White is his auntie, and he says, oh my God, how do you know my auntie? So I told him. So he's like, that is so wild. So
That's
yeah. Um, so living in Warren. I mean, okay, so let's talk about that. I mean, what was it like growing up in Warren for you?
I feel like I had any other normal childhood. Like it was one of those little everyone, at least my block, everyone kind of knew everyone. Kids, we were playing in the streets and we were always down the street somewhere. I loved growing up there. Everyone sat on their porches, all the parents got together. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, you don't see, you can't do that in the city, that's for sure.
You don't
No,
see kids playing in the streets here.
yeah, there's just a couple of things you can't do there. You can't play in the streets. You can't sit on your porch. You can't sit in your car, and you can't go to a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yeah.
those are like four rules of living in Detroit, but it's true. I'm not kidding you. I wish I was. I wish I was actually sitting there saying I'm poking fun at the city, but in dead seriousness, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's a real damn shame.
That is-
Warren's a nice town.
Yeah. It's got its nice areas, but it's got some sketchy. Like looking back now, like if I were to go back, I don't think I would feel as safe. But when I was in it, when I was growing up, and that's all that I knew, it felt fine. But now I can like look at it and like, ooh, maybe I don't know if it's gotten worse, but I don't know how safe I'd feel now by myself.
Uh, so, did you get into the business? What business did you get into first, as far as the entertainment goes? Was it modeling first, or was it acting first?
Oh, it was acting. So I was a bartender in a bar like in Detroit, like Harper and Cadieux. I got a bartending gig. Like the day after I turned 18, I went in there, I talked to the owner. A friend referred me. He told me to go talk to her. So I talked to her. She called me. She gave me a shot. It was a super small bar, very cheers. Like you had to ring the doorbell to get in, and I let you in with a buzzer. So like I could
Oh
see
wow,
the camera. I knew who you were. I had your beer on the bar by the time you got to your seat. So I was working there, and she came to me one day after she had a hair appointment, and her hairstylist was like, hey, they're shooting a movie here in Michigan. They're doing a, it's called Oz the Great and Powerful. So it's like a prequel to the Wizard of Oz. He's like,
Right.
your girl, he saw me through Facebook pictures and stuff. He's like, your girl should go apply. So I went down there for the casting and I got that job. And I was obviously a munchkin. And I just fell in love with being on set. The whole experience was amazing. And I just, from there, just started picking up things as they came. And it's always been like a secondary job, like the modeling, the acting, any kind of entertainment world. It always came behind whatever job I had. And now I left 2 years ago my waitressing job in Vegas to make it more of a full time. That is all I do now.
Um, that must have been. How was it? How was it for you when you first walked down there? For the first got down there for the because that's a great movie.
So good, right?
It
Oh,
is. I love that movie. What a that's a feather in anybody's hat to be in
dude.
part of that movie because that's a really good movie.
Yeah, so many big names like James Franco and Mila Kunis. They were all so great. And Sam Raimi, the director, was one of the most genuine people. Like actually watching that movie and seeing the vision that he had for it, it was awesome. But walking down there, it was wild. It was such a long line. It was crazy. I just remember being super overwhelmed.
Yeah,
And
I was now that was just the application process, right?
yeah, yeah, it was just I remember going down there. I don't even know if I had any kind of resume or headshots or anything. I don't remember. I might have printed a picture off or something with my stats on it. I went down there and I remember the casting agents were walking through the lines and they saw me and they said something like, "Oh, you're totally in." So like my ego was all boosted waiting in line. And then when I went in to talk to whoever, I think they did a couple of questions. I gave them my picture and they're like, "Yeah, we'll let you know, we'll call you." And I remember talking about it while we were working on the film, saying how that had happened. Someone told me in line and they're like, "Oh, they were not supposed to do that." So I was like, "Oh, well, some did." But yeah,
Mm.
really easy process. It was a lot, but the process itself, the interview part was really easy.
Now Sam Raimi's from here too, right?
I do know that, yes.
Yeah.
That's why he really wanted to. He was excited to film there. That was during when they were giving all those not discounts, but tax
The
write off.
tax, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was super pumped to be filming in Michigan for that.
Yeah, 'cause he lived in Franklin,
Oh,
and, yeah, that's where he lived at, and he went out there to, Brighton to film Evil Dead, and then he filmed, part of the Evil Dead in front of his front yard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah.
he's a nice dude.
Uh, uh, so what was it? How long? Now you went down there. You're super nervous. What was your reaction of you and your friends and your family when they called you and they said, "Hey, you made the movie. When do you have to come down and get costumed out and everything." What was
Yeah.
your first reaction? Have you done any acting up until that time? Did you act in high school or college or?
No, huge like stage fright. I never went out for any of that stuff. I never did theater. If I had to give a presentation in class, I was that student that like if I could miss the day of presentations and still pass, I would. I'm
Uh-huh.
terrified of getting up in front of crowds. So it was kind of like one of those like you're really doing this? Like you're not scared? Everyone was a little shocked but super excited for me. So I guess being in front of a camera doesn't scare me as much as live.
I like to think not. I mean, I've seen some of the great pictures that you posted. I mean, yeah, you're a swimsuit model, and you're not a yeah, you're out there. That's an amazing.
Trying.
So I was just sitting there going like, that is yeah, she's gorgeous. I can
Yeah.
understand why. I can understand why men. I can understand it. I'm sure the talent is there, and like I said, I mean, this is my first time I've actually interviewed. Um, it's the proper term is little person, right?
Yeah, that's what I prefer. It's definitely probably the safest route to refer to
Yeah,
us.
that's what I it's the most respectful.
Yes.
Anything else is I don't really find respectful at all. Um, so this is my first time, so I'm pretty excited about it too because it's a new experience. But
Yay.
I also know too that I also know men, and I know that he's skilled, and I know that he surrounds himself with some serious talent. So when he hires you to come in there to do a movie, you or anybody else, I know you got skills, um,
Mhm.
because he's a fine director.
He is.
I think, and he's a great human being too.
Yeah,
Um,
like one of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of working with and getting to know as a person.
um, so here you are on your first day of Oz, and what was it like? I mean, is you're brand new. I mean, I'm sure you remember it like it was yesterday. So did they,
Yeah.
was it like, did you go into costuming first? Did they tell you, did you have any lines?
No lines, just extra, just background, I guess you would call it. The first couple days, they had us come in early, like before the filming even started for costumes and they get us kind of set up with looks like prosthetics. We wore prosthetics and I had a wig and the costumes were super, obviously they had to be tailored to each of us
Right.
specifically. So went in a couple times before the filming process for that and like barely anyone was there, just like necessities of wardrobe people and stuff. And then when it came down to actually start filming, I just remember being so nervous, so scared because I'm a very like shy person. I'm not the girl that's gonna walk into a party and be like, "What's up? Hey guys, I'm low." Like I'm not that person. Like you have to talk to me first. So the first couple weeks were a little it was exciting. It was nerve wracking, but I was very like closed off. I kind of just stayed in my own little bubble. And then as we worked together more, because we were doing that for like 3 or 4 months, Monday through Friday, and naturally you grow to like you create a family out of it. And then it became like going out after filming and getting closer and all of that. But the first day was definitely scary.
Um, so did they tell you that that like you couldn't talk to the stars or stuff like that, or did
Oh,
they?
they did not. So they warned us. They said that we were actually allowed to because a lot of movies are not like that. They'll tell you don't talk to the actors because it breaks character. I think, and a lot of the characters, a lot of the people that I worked with said that Oz was the best experience they had ever had as far as being an extra on a film because everyone was super nice. The stars, they would talk to us, they would interact with us. The craft services was amazing. Like they treated us like we were actually part of the cast. Like we weren't like background. It was a really like we were blessed with that experience. Like we did one of the girls actually we I was pretty much walking around like I own that place. Like we all were after being there a certain amount of time. Like we were walking around wherever we wanted, talking to everyone. And one of the girls, one of the PAs, was going to get James Franco, and I was like, "Oh," she's like, "You want to meet him?" I'm like, "Yes." So she's like, "Come on." So she's like, brought him there, got him out of his trailer, and was like, "Hey, James, this is one of your munchkins," and he shook my hand and stuff, and yeah, it was really cool. Everyone was really nice.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's cool. I like James Franco. I think
Uh, he's a
yeah.
great actor. I will say that he's a little
You know what? Yeah, I know he's got some. I know he's got some flack off the screen, but I can't. I don't really know what's going on with
right.
that. I just separate the artist from the. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So you first one, and you've got some confidence. You walk around like you. Well, think about it. Think about it this way. You guys earned that because really without you guys, there's no movie
No,
because
yeah.
honestly, the first thing anybody ever thinks about, maybe the second thing when they think about Oz, I think the first thing they think about is the red shoes, and then after that, then they think about the Munchkins
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
it was so well known, so it was so and it's such an amazing movie.
yeah.
Um, so I understand that. So after that was over with, did you have the acting bug then? Did you just like, oh yeah, this is something I want to do, or was it one of those things where you just chalked it off to just a great experience?
I definitely had the bug. Like I loved it. I was on this high from it, but I didn't not necessarily like pursue it. I took things as they came to me, but I never like I didn't like start. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't do any classes. I didn't reach out when an opportunity if I saw something. Like I never went looking for the jobs, but I did want to do it.
Were you afraid? Were you afraid that were you afraid that you'd be stereotyped? Was that one of the reasons why you maybe didn't go after it as hard as you could
Uh,
have because you were afraid of that?
maybe not on a conscious level. Now I'm definitely aware, like, and I pick things accordingly. Like, I won't do certain stereotypical gigs. Like, I won't be the Oompa Loompa. Like, I won't. I'm a lot more conscious of my choices that way. But back
Sure,
then, I don't think that was something I thought of. I just think I was very just comfortable where I was, like the bartending and just doing my everyday. Like, it was just more of a comfort zone to stay where I was, kind of thing.
sure, sure. Now, when that happened, I mean, between Oz, your first movie, and now, have you noticed? Like, I commented on this before you got here, but I could be wrong. But I hope that I am not wrong. I hope that I'm right. But have you found it to be easier to get jobs? I mean, people don't really care about your height; they just care about your talent, and that's what they basically book you for.
Yeah, it's definitely easy for me to get some work. A lot of work. It is a lot easier for me if I can sell myself just on my basic look. Like, if I can be like, I offer something different, it is a lot easier. But sometimes when they want a certain look that I don't fit, obviously there's nothing I can do and I'm not getting a job. But so I think it definitely plays for me, but then a lot of times it plays against me too.
Yeah, I think I like the fact of the idea that you're not just gonna give yourself over to the first thing coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could come in and do some of the TLC stuff or whatever, and it's like, yeah, you could do that, and I do respect that a lot. That you're going like, and now we're hearing about like the first movie. I mean, come on. I mean, not very many people walk in there for the first movie experience, walk inside of a damn Sam Raimi film, right? So here you are, you're starting off on top. You know what to expect. This is what you want to do, and you're gonna hold out for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So, uh, so let's go to your let's go to your second movie. What was the second thing that you did?
Oh,
And
gee. My second movie, I did a lot of random stuff after that, like random music videos, YouTube stuff. But I think my second movie, like legit movie, might have been one one of Min's films, Clown Fear. And that one
okay,
I IMDb, whatever credit for.
right, yep, you're there.
Yeah, so I think that might have been my next actual movie.
Now, you mean you were 23 when you moved out to Vegas. So what caused the move to Vegas? What was there for you that wasn't out here in Detroit
Nothing.
besides
My friend and
besides flying bullets?
Right. My friend and I, we were honestly just planning a girls' trip. After
Okay.
Oz, like, with that bug, I was like, I'm gonna move to LA, and I never got the balls to do it. And then my best friend and I, it had been a couple of years had passed. We were planning a girls' trip to Vegas, and I made a joke. I was like, "We're gonna get to Vegas, and we're not gonna want to come home." And she's like, "Haha, well, maybe we should. Maybe we should move there." So we were just like looking up cost of living out here just for fun, and it was the same as Michigan. And we're like, oh well, we're both bartenders, like we've been doing it a long time, I'm sure we'll get work really easy. And then so she applied to UNLV just to see, and then she got in, and we're like, oh shit, we're really doing this now. So it became a plan.
Did you go to Las Vegas as well?
No, the college, no, I did
Um,
not.
no. Okay, so you got out here. What did you have culture shock, or I mean, was it like, holy cow, or what's the first thing you noticed besides Vegas, other than it was very hot? Did you notice all the bing bing bings on the machines all the time?
Yeah. Okay. So when we first came out here, like, so we still planned a vacation, and we are like, okay, for our vacation, we're going to get the keys to our apartment. We're going to just look around, see what bars are around. She had been here before. It was my first time. We got here and I hated it. I was so
Oh,
scared. I was like, I'm moving here now. At that point, in 2 weeks, I'm moving here and I freaking hate it. But living here, I love it. Once we moved here, I fell in love with it. But as a vacation, I hated it here.
way too loud.
It was just too much. It was too go go go, and I'm like, I'm a chill girl. I didn't.
Yeah.
It was too much for me.
Did you land what was your first job in Vegas?
So I only had like one outside of like my gig work. I've only had one job here, getting a bartending. So from that point, 18, 19, 20, 22, I had been a bartender in Michigan for 5 years. So I was like, I'll get a job easy. I couldn't find a job to save my life because bartending is all people do out here. They've been doing it for 30 plus years. So, and I had no gaming experience. So I wasn't finding anything. So one day we checked out downtown and we came across this restaurant. They had that's what it was. There was an ad on Craigslist for this restaurant called the Heart Attack Grill, and it was on Fremont. So we went down there. We made like kind of a whole day out of it, where we set up the interview, got the interviews. We both applied together, and then we played downtown afterwards. And I got that job. We both got that job. She didn't. She was there for like a month, and she left. But I was there up until 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you Google me, Nurse Lola, Heart Attack Grill, like not to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of a big deal there. Like no jokes aside, I did fucking wonders for that restaurant. People still go in there looking for me. He had a lot of like filming crews, and he obviously used me in a lot of that stuff. And I became a pretty well known character of the restaurant.
I want to say I've heard of that restaurant before. Is that the one with was that the one with the like the roller coaster in it?
No, no. So this one is a hospital themed restaurant. When you come in, you have to wear a hospital gown or you literally don't get to come in. So the girl, we're all in nurse uniforms. The host, they gown you up, they seat you. I come up, I'm Nurse Lola. He's known for his really big burgers. They're
Right.
half patty, so it goes up to 8. Like if you get the biggest burger, it's like this big. Uh,
Right, right.
you get spanked if you don't finish your food. So that was yeah, like, well, you definitely
Really?
have heard of it, I promise you. You just Google it, and you're like, "Oh, yeah." Like, Dr. John's the bald guy, he's, like, the creator, the mastermind of it.
Yeah, I've heard it. I know I've heard of that show. I know I've heard of the restaurant before, so it wasn't that one. But I remember that that's the hamburger patty. I want to say the show was on Man versus Food for some reason, but I
Yeah,
could be wrong. It
I
wasn't.
think
It was
yeah, Man versus Food, Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian, Fluffy,
Fluffy,
he
Fluffy.
filmed, he had a lot of stuff, but Man versus Food was definitely, like, I think his big breaking through. He became very popular from that one.
Oh, so here you are. You're Nurse Lola. You got your own thing going on.
Mhm.
Become very popular. Um, so now is this when you start thinking about doing some modeling? How did that come into your repertoire?
Well, the modeling was just always kind of one of those things I feel like came with the work of entertainment. But like as far as like my Instagram, like that kind of modeling, I just recently got into that because it's just like the creative outlet side of it. Like I love like looking on Pinterest for ideas, like at home photo shoot ideas and like recreating them, like buying the lights and buying all the little props and figuring out like how to set my camera up and getting the angles and then doing the editing after. So it just kind of became just a fun creative outlet. And it I don't know, it's good for promoting myself, so it kind of
Yeah.
works in
Yes.
ways. And then I've done some other stuff like with photographers, but again, it's just something I enjoy doing. It's just fun for me.
You find your confidence just growing once
Yeah,
you started doing that? More did
yeah.
you find your confidence growing with the movie? Did you find it growing more when you did the movie, or did you find it more when you did the modeling?
I just think in general, my I don't know if it's the modeling, but just within the past couple of years, like probably the last 2 years, my confidence has been growing a lot more, and I think it's just because I'm doing more of what makes my heart happy. Um, but definitely, I think through the modeling, the movie stuff, I enjoy doing it, but I'm really hard on myself, so I don't think it really boosts my confidence that much. Um, yeah, the modeling for sure. It's bigger for my ego.
Uh, let's see. Did Adam Richmond get spanked? You know, and Patrick Echo says that he's heard of it because of the spanking.
Yeah.
I want to say that the Man versus Food. I think he competed against somebody, and I don't think he quite did it. But no, they didn't show him getting spanked, so I would have to go back there and see. There's like two or three different restaurants that he visited. One I know he did in Vegas. He did where if he would have won, he would have got like a free ride on a NASCAR. It was a NASCAR theme restaurant, and
Okay.
he would have won he would have won rides for a year. But I think he did three places though. He always did three places, and I want to say the Heart Attack Grill was the second place he went to because I
Okay.
remember the burgers being like this, and it was just like that's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah. I never actually saw it, and that was before I worked there. So you have to Google it for me and let me know.
Now let me ask you this: did you eat there?
I did. Dude, the burger's actually really good. Like he doesn't skip out on the meat. The buns are amazing. The burger is good. I would eat there at least like twice a month. I would just grab a burger, go to work like 15 minutes early, and order one.
Um, so what kind of interactions did you have with the male side? I mean, were they respectful for you? Did you hear a lot of did people like try to be smart ass and make comments and
Like at her,
without you knowing that you know a friend named Bubba who's right around the corner, like
I mean, I definitely get my freaking share. Like I get it all. I get for the most part, I'm really lucky. I do get people that are very, at least to my face, respectful and genuine, like with their compliments and stuff. But of course, like I still get the annoying, rude, arrogant assholes. But
tourist.
yeah, but for the most part, I'm really lucky, and it's very positive attention.
Sure, sure. I can see that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk a little bit more about how did you end up meeting men?
Through that restaurant. He was high school friends with my old boss and Min. So they tried to film a reality show years back, like 5 or 6. They wanted to film a reality show. So we spent like a weekend to like filming it. And then my boss, he was just like, I don't want to do it anymore after the filming. Like Min still has all the footage.
Uh,
But yeah, that's how we met. And then every time Min would come to town, he'd come in and he'd sit at the bar, and if he had food or a drink or whatever, we all say hi to him. And then so it was always like keep in touch, like touch and go kind of. And then when he was doing Clown Fear, he reached out to me personally. He was like, I want to put you in it. So then we kind of created a little bit more of a personal relationship from that. But yeah, that's how I met him.
that's so cool, though. That's so cool that he remembers. I love those kind of stories, though. I do. Because again, think about it. That guy meets everybody. He meets so many different people, and
So many.
for you to make that impression on him and stay with him, that's really neat. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Kimberly Perkins is here, and she is saying, Lola Vegas, you are amazing. And
Uh,
I happen to agree with that. And then there is our friend Rick. I think it's my friend Rick. Let me double check. Once in a while, we get an impersonator. I always got to throw out the password to make sure it's really him. So hold on, because got to make sure. Yeah, you just never know here on YouTube. Got to you never know who's going to walk in through your door, so you got to throw passwords once in a while.
I dig it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's him. He's got the right yeah, he's got the right word. Um and he says hello Lola.
Hey.
Uh Rick actually has him and his wife run their own distributing company called Underground Sabrosa, and they deal with horror collectibles, horror movies,
Oh,
hard to
cool.
find. Yeah, he's really
Oh,
extremely cool business. Super nice guy. Just balls to the wall, and yeah, he's one of the nicest guys for sure.
that's awesome.
Uh, yeah. Um, so, and everybody saying hello to everybody. Hey, Krubby, how are you? Glad you're here. We are talking with actress and model Lola Vegas today. So you did the first now Clown Fear is this the first role that you done that you had a speaking role in, or had you done anything else beforehand?
No, Clown Fear was the first one. Everything else
So
strictly like extra work was background, just some kind of like atmosphere thing.
and this is a whole new level now. This is like, your first movie, you're there, you're really nervous because like holy shit, but now you got that knocked down. Then you did some other things.
Hmm.
I mean the reality show. What was the reality show supposed to be about? Was it supposed to be about the restaurant?
I don't even know. Like you my boss was weird. Like he would just very creative, like genius, but it was kind of like his worst quality and his best. So he just I don't know. He wanted to do this like almost like this series of challenges. So he paired us up. Like every nurse that was a part of the show was paired up with an oversized guy because mind you at that restaurant if you weighed over 350 you got to eat for free, so that was a big selling point in the restaurant. So it was like everyone was paired up with and we would do like these challenges. Like one challenge was a hot dog eating contest. Another challenge, they rented an Airbnb and we did a pool scene where the girls were chicken fighting. So just a bunch of random stuff like that. Like no real direction in this thing. I think my boss just woke up one day, was like, I want to do a reality show, and came up with obnoxious contests, and that was it. And then decided he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Uh, what do you think? What do you think about some of the reality shows? Like you hear some of some of the little people shows. Do you find them to be helpful, or do you find them to be damaging?
I have no idea. I honestly don't watch them.
That tells me your answer right there.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I remember the original one. What was it, like Little People Big World? That was like the first like little people show that I can remember. And I just remember people always asking me like, "Do you watch it?" Or maybe if you're on it. But whenever they'd be like, "Do you watch it? Do you watch it?" I'm like, "Why do I have to watch it? I literally that is my life. I don't need to watch it." I was never, and I think that's what it is. Like I live it. I don't need to watch someone else experience it. But I definitely like what the basis that reality shows are in general. I'm willing to bet it's very damaging because none of that stuff's real. They're hiring; those are actors.
Yeah.
They're saying,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna be pit against that person. So now that's the feud of the show, and I'm not into reality shows.
No. I saw it when it came out, and everybody was talking about it at first, and I think I caught one episode of it, and it was just typical. There's only like one reality show I really ever really watched per se. I mean, like
Mhm.
my wife loved watching Big Brother. I used to watch that too. It was all right, but the only reality show I ever really watched, even though half the people on the show were just like,
Yeah.
with Deadliest Catch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think some are cool. And I guess like with the little people ones, I like it because it has brought us more to the forefront. Like it's made people a little more familiar with us. We're not so taboo. So I appreciate that about them.
Do you think that's an interesting word that you use, taboo? Well, I mean, has that retreated during the 10 years that you've been in Vegas, that you've been doing doing movies and TV and pilots and whatnot? Have you seen? I mean, before I'm sure it was a very narrow window which you could fit into. Have you seen that now with all the streaming services, all the different shows? Has that opened up for you as an actress? I mean, do you find yourself auditioning a lot more for roles now than you did maybe say 5 years ago, or even when you first got there?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes it where it's not so I don't know the word I'm looking for, but yes, it definitely helps like open the windows and it shows people like, oh, like little people exist. Like you're a person. Yes, we would love to have you. Like, I don't know, just it definitely opens a lot more opportunities, I think.
Uh, let's see. Let me go to here to the chat here because I'm missing some of it. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Rick saying hello to everybody. Star Lord is here. Hey Ed, how are you? Uh, Eden, not Ed. It's Eden, not Ed. Ed, Eddie. Um, Let's see. Star Lord says he's trying to keep up with MILF Manor. I heard about that show, but I don't know much about that. I got to figure that one out. I think someone mentioned about that the other day. Probably mentioned Patrick. My first question to Lola, what does she thought of? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, she got all positive. She thought about her. Yeah, did you like being made up? I think it's a good question, Krubby. I could get something out of that. Did you like being made up? Do you like being made up to look, like you mentioned earlier, like you're not an Oompa Loompa. But if someone came up there and says, "Yeah, we want to paint you orange or green or something like that," you know, is that something you turn around and sit there and say, I know it's, maybe it's for a comedy or whatnot, but I'm not really feeling that. I don't mind being me and showing that off, or do you look at it as that if it moves the story, if it's essential to the story, then no, I would not mind if they made me up a different color.
Yeah, so it depends on. So I have to like backtrack on the Oompa Loompa thing. I actually did an Oompa Loompa gig. I have pictures on my Instagram.
Oh,
It depends on the demeanor of what that character is playing. That Oompa Loompa, I got to be a beautiful, like I had eyelashes, I had like the makeup that they did. It was colorful, but it was very like contoured. Like I was seen as pretty, I guess, for lack of better words. Like it just to me depends on the light that you're trying to put on this character. Like I'm not gonna wear like overalls and look like a little boy. Like if you want that, go hire a little boy to play your Oompa Loompa.
there would be no way in hell you could do that.
Yeah. Well, I've actually had to pass that gig up before. Like, no, like if I can be sexy, and I always say if I can play the same role, if you're gonna offer this to that 5 foot blonde girl down the road, like we can play that same character, I'll take it. But if you're doing it because little people are funny looking and you want to kind of harbor that image, then I won't do it. Like I don't care what it is.
Right,
Like so yeah, you want to paint my body orange, but I get to feel attractive and I'm not like the joke, I'll do it. But if you're not offering it to that model next to me, I'm not doing
right. Yeah, she's not going to be. If she's not going, if you wouldn't paint her orange, and you
it.
just paint me orange, yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
my thing, when I first started doing gig work in Vegas, obviously mini Elvis is a big thing. And I took the gig. Like I have a friend, he gets hired and when they want a second person, he brings me along and I bought the Elvis jumpsuit. I have the wig. And I took the gig because I was so hungry for work. Like I needed it. I didn't have the luxury of choosing my gigs. But now I haven't been offered an Elvis gig in a long time yet. But the next time it comes to me, like I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll play mini Elvis, but I'm not wearing the wig. Like I want to be the cute girl that they're looking for. Otherwise, they can go hire a boy because I've worked Elvis gigs where him and I look like him, and then they've got these models that have like cute faux hawks and they have mini skirt Elvis jumpsuits. I'm like, why can't I wear that? Like, why do I have to look like a fucking dork?
right, right, right. Let's see. Let's see. Let me catch up. There you go. Oh, thank you, John. Appreciate that. Our friend Doomsday Crypt is in the house. He runs two podcasts.
All right.
Yes, so he's watching. I'm sure he's scouting as well. I'm sure he is because that's the kind of talent he is. I think it's awesome. Um, so you might getting pinged by our good friend John.
Deal.
I would be awesome. See, Star Lord. Any reality show now reminds me of MTV shows that were staged. Yes, definitely. Yeah, reality shows now is pretty much for the most part are all staged.
Yeah.
Probably after watching Lola, I made to ask questions. It's not to harm or anyone. No, no, no. You're fine. No, you're good. You're good. You can ask any questions. If she doesn't want to answer them, she'll tell us.
I like.
So far, yep. Lola, my question for you is: what is your favorite horror movie? And do you collect movies?
So I mean, I guess I do have a collection of movies just because that was the generation I grew up in. Like the whole streaming thing is so new. Like I have stacks of movies. I love like oldie stuff. Like I'm super obsessed with like Elvis films, like Marlon Brando, like that generation of stuff. So I have a good collection of those. My favorite horror. Ooh. I definitely, because of how much it scares me, like the Michael Myers collections.
Okay.
I'm more of like a thriller fan. Like I like psychological thrillers more than horror. But my
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Suspense and thrillers. Yes. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I mean, you know, uh, um, did you like the did you so you liked the Michael Myers? So you're a big Halloween fan. I mean, if you had to choose one horror franchise, would it be Halloween?
probably, yeah.
I mean, after the first one, right? You get the first one out of there, then from Halloween two on.
Yeah, they're like all the same.
Yeah.
I liked though where they did like where what it was like a competition or something where they went to the house that he grew up in. They were supposed to like stay the night or something. I don't remember which Halloween.
I think that's Resurrection.
Yeah, that one was at probably my
How do I
favorite.
know that? I'm never gonna live that one down. I don't know where that came from, John. I have no idea. I always give my friend John a hard time. I personally don't like the first one too much, but I like. There's some of them afterwards that I like,
Yeah.
but I don't know how I knew that was Resurrection.
I- Yeah, you're getting fine, but that was probably my favorite of the collection.
Yeah, I love thrillers too. Yeah, everybody here in the chat, they're huge Halloween and horror fans.
Yeah.
And their physical media. Uh, John says John's with me. He goes Resurrection. He's giving it the stink eye.
Okay.
Yeah, Resurrection is not the favorite for many Halloween fans.
I'm sorry. I don't know a lot of other Halloween movies.
It's okay. What about the Scream? Did you go see Scream 6?
No, I was never really a Scream girl. I don't know that I've seen any of the Screams.
Yeah. Okay. What about 3,000 Miles to Graceland?
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose like half of your audience now. I don't know that one.
That's where I think they're gonna rob, well, I think they're gonna rob a casino. It was Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell. It was set in Vegas. How about this? What's your favorite Vegas-based movie?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know. I feel like you'd have to like name drop, and I would have to like pick out of. I don't because I can't think off the top of my head like what's filmed here. Obviously, they set like the Elvis movies here. I like just super anything Elvis, like his.
I like Elvis movies.
Yeah, if that counts as an Elvis based movie, the new one for sure. That movie.
You have Viva Las Vegas.
That one's a good one.
That's a
Yeah,
good one. I want to say wasn't Roustabout set in Vegas too? I know it was a carnival, but wasn't it?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. Well, favorite Elvis movie.
Um, of
There we
course,
go.
Jailhouse Rock, but outside of that one, GI Blues. That's what it's called. I like that one a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, Jailhouse Rock, that's a really sultry movie. It's
Okay.
ahead of its time.
I love it. I love the character he plays. That just
Yeah,
like that sarcastic, like, but still has like a heart towards the end. I
yeah.
don't know. And of course,
Well, I just remember the dialogue. I remember watching it when I was younger. I was like, this is all right, black and white and everything else. And then I watched it when I was older, until I could understand it a little bit better. And then I was listening to the dialogue, and I'm going like, that's way above most 50 movies.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, whoa, there's some spicy talk there that was not
yeah.
really realized.
I love that movie. I just love the character he plays that he created. I do.
Um, so here you are. You got your first role in Clown Fear. Hey Frog, how are you? Let's see, Psycho, a great start. Yeah, a Psycho. That is a thriller and suspense, by the way. Psycho that is a very good thriller.
Okay, I'll remember that. I'll watch that one, and
Oh
then we'll talk about it in our next interview.
wow, yes, yes, oh yes, you will be coming back. That's for sure. Yeah, that Psycho is a good one to start off with. It's both
Okay.
horror, but it is suspense and it is a thriller. And it started something really, something new, and that was eliminating your star middle of the movie. Most of the time, back then, everybody made it to the end. Either they rode off on the horse into the sunset, or maybe they died a
Right.
hero.
Right.
But Psycho, they took the main character and killed them in the middle of the movie.
Okay. All
First
right.
time ever, some first time they really had ever done that. Um, so here you are. You're on the set of Clown Fear now, and this is this is someone who really is not. I mean, it's safe to say you're not really into horror a lot. So how did you get talked into taking the role in Clown Fear?
Honestly, he just asked me to do it, and I was like, okay, let's do it.
You
I'll freak.
just did it just like that.
Yeah, yeah. Freaking.
So obviously clowns have no hold on you. You can look at a clown and go like, yeah. I mean, if Art the clown walked up to you, you kick him in the sack,
Right. Yeah, I'm
right?
not one. Like clowns don't really have that hold on me.
Are you amazed when people are so scared of clowns? Does that sort of like amaze you?
It amazes me like the what people are afraid. Like nothing really amazes me. I guess like what people are scared of these days.
What are you scared of?
Mm, I guess I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not a fan of like bugs, if that counts.
you don't
But
like bugs?
yeah, as far as like characters, I don't know. I don't have like a phobia that I'm aware of yet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm sure
You
I
know
do.
what? No, we need to sit here and say this right now that to any action film directors out there watching this interview, this is your girl right here. This girl's fearless, so go ahead and cast her in anything. I like it. Let's do it.
I mean, I don't necessarily want to be chased in a fucking
I
alley.
was thinking you'd be like you'd be like the vigilante, the bounty hunter, that kind of role.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Uh, so what now this is different for you. Here you are on Clown Fear, and did you had to get yourself all made up? I mean, it's the first time you got, like did you because I think if I'm not mistaken, okay, it's been a minute since I saw it, but you were dressed like a clown, were you
Yes,
not? Yeah.
I was a little.
So what did you I mean, what was it like being dressed up for the first time in makeup? I mean, like that. I mean, was it, were you made up before for the Oz, or
Oh,
did you?
Oz was the most intense because I was like makeup and prosthetics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did it all in Oz, like everything you could possibly have to go through in a movie. Like I experienced it firsthand with that. So anything after that was like a piece of cake. Because
Okay.
Clown Fear is easy. Like the girls, they did my makeup for me. It's kind of like a basic clown, like a cute clown. They did. I believe I had like a mohawk kind of thing. My wardrobe was my own clothes for the most part. I think they had me throw a tutu on, but yeah, it was pretty easy. It was fun. I like being something different, so it was cool.
It turns out, looks like you're becoming a rather popular here. Our good friend Frog is here. Superstar Frog. That's right. Frog's a big YouTuber. See, Eden says I would love to meet Lola and do a podcast for his YouTube and Instagram. She's an amazing actress, and I think she likes a little bit of Michael Myers. Shout out to Patrick and Lola. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Patrick asked Lola that will she be into. She asked Lola that she will be in my next action adventure fantasy comics. Yeah, he Krubby makes comics. He draws comics,
Really?
and yeah,
Uh,
he draws comics. So he puts. I think he's done like 2 or 3 of my other guests. He's incorporated them into his comic books.
yeah,
Um,
fun.
uh, Yes, I can, yeah, you have to talk to her and see about that. That'd be interesting. That would be very fun.
Yeah,
And Star Lord says he can see right through clown makeup. So Star Lord's not afraid of clowns. Okay,
nice.
so like, if I'm by myself, art makes me a little nervous, but I have a cheetah, I have a pet cheetah, so he doesn't make me all that much nervous. All right. Let's see, Lola. I can make every horror movie because that's my hobby. Yeah, that's cool. John mentions I work with office staff that refuses to go inside the crypt basement due to clowns. I have a Pennywise and a 7 foot Crouchy set up down there. Yeah, what is up with that? People are scared of clowns. I don't get it. I always used to laugh at them. Go to the Barnum, Barnum and Bailey's circus, and there'd be a little clown car, and you see like 8 or 9 people getting out of it, and you just sitting there, be cracking up, you'd be rolling. I
That's
never got that.
I see when
Uh,
I see clowns, I think circus.
huh?
Yeah, I'm like that too. When I see clowns, like I think circus. I don't
Yeah.
think scary.
See, our friend Steven says, Lola, have you been in any conventions or considered attending them? That's a good question. And you, Days of the Dead just came by Vegas. So have you done a convention as a guest
No,
or
no.
wow.
I want to. Min has talked to me about it and said he was explaining how those are kind of big deals, and I said that
Yes.
sounds like it'd be a blast. He wants to get a booth and start doing it, hopefully in the very near future, and had me and Madison that I worked with like be a part of it and stuff. So, not yet, but one day I will. I
You
will.
and Madison make a good contrast, by the
Yeah.
way.
Do what?
Yeah, you and Madison make a good contrast. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
Uh,
She was really.
she seems like a very nice girl. Have you met anybody that you worked with yet that maybe maybe like second thoughts working with? Ever had any trouble on a set with anybody?
No, I'm really blessed in all my opportunities. I've had like A+ opportunities. Like everyone's always really nice, really easy to work with, helpful. Like Madison was super helpful to me. I don't think I've had a bad experience yet, which fucking scares me for when I do have a bad experience, but because it's probably gonna be the worst. But I really haven't.
I don't think you will either. I
Uh,
don't think you will. I don't think you'll have a bad experience. I think that people, I think they respect you and what you've done so far, and in the journey that you've gone through. I think
Thanks.
they will respect that. So, so you did Clown Fear.
Hmm.
Yeah, I interviewed Courtney Akbar for that, and we've had Augie Duke on the show. We've had Sadie Katz on the show.
Rock on. Of
And of course, we had Min, of course, as well.
course.
So now we have you. Now we have to get Madison. Um,
Yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about Fables of the Witching Hour. Now, I'm excited here because hopefully, don't break my heart about this, but I know that Min mentioned it was going to be a trilogy.
Yeah, that's what
Uh,
he's saying. He's saying
right.
multiple volumes, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yes. So that means because I'm thinking to myself, going like, you're going to be part of the wraparound. You're going to be a main character, so you're going to be coming back 2 more movies.
I know. I hope so. I'm really excited. Like he keeps talking about it, so I'm trying to put in the universe. Like, yes, make this happen.
Yes, I called that before you got on the show. I said that's what I was going to. I could see that happening. That's what was going to happen. That you were going to come in there and be part of the wraparound, like
And yeah,
the narrator. So there you go, Min. If you're listening, what can I say, buddy? I put you down for it. We spoke it into the universe.
yes.
Yes. Um, now that was a different experience for you too. Had you ever worked on a movie like that before? I mean, obviously, have you ever seen an anthology movie before? Was it a different experience?
That's something I've really never done before, and just even just at my character, the amount of lines that I had, that was a lot of pressure. That was hard. That was so freaking hard for me. And again, like huge shout out to Madison for like being in the back with me and practicing because I was like, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I don't. I felt like I was swimming with the big kids. Like I'm always in the pool with background work and like 2 words to my script. And this one, it was scary but fun.
Holy cow! You are a hit. Can I tell you this? You are a hit. We have a big crowd in here tonight, and I got to come back over and say hi to them. There's our friend Nora, the Stock Explorer.
Hi,
JJ is back. Hey JJ, how are you? Glad
Jay.
you're here. See, it's Professor Macabro, my partner on the Midnight Society. He has a question. Question for you, Lola. What actor or actress or director would she love to work with, and in what type of movie genre would she like to co-star with them? So yeah, let's just set this up. That's a good question. So let's set this up. So now you get to pick your favorite director.
Tim Burton.
Uh, Tim Burton. Okay, so you got Tim Burton. What actress and actor are going to be your scene partners?
I would love to work with Leo DiCaprio. Leonardo.
Okay, okay, Leonardo. Okay.
Partly because I really think he's hot, but also because I think he's a great actor. But I think
You're
I
way too old for him, right?
what
You're
I
way
know,
too old for him.
I know. whatever. I still fantasize, but I he would be, but he would be such. I bet you he's a tough guy to work with. I bet you he's one of those actors that like you're not
Mhm.
allowed to talk to.
Yeah, I have
I
a feeling about that too.
So I think he'd be like, it would be fun to just to experience that. But I love his work, and like I love the roles that he picks. I don't even have to know what the movie's about. If he's in it, I want to see the movie. So he's
Yeah,
my person.
it's funny. It's funny. My favorite role that he did was he just had a supporting role in it. It was one of his early films. It's his favorite movie that I've seen him in, even though he is it's like mostly all the other everybody else in it.
Hmm.
The man in the iron mask.
Oh my god, I don't even. I remember seeing it. I was little though. I was a kid when that came out. I just watched that one just to get like. He was
I,
only a supporting in that. See,
yeah,
these two I remember.
it was Gabriel Byrne, um, Gerald Depardieu,
I
John
forgot.
Malkovich, and one other Chris O'Donnell. I think it was Chris O'Donnell, and yeah, and it was the Three Musketeers.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Yeah, I forgot
Oh,
about.
that's such a great movie. I love that movie so much. It's like my favorite one, and it's like he has a small role in it. I mean he really does. This role is not that big, so it's I don't even know if he can call it a Leonardo film, but he is in it. But man, everybody else is just fantastic in that movie, and it's one of my favorites for sure.
That.
Um, let's see. Let's see. So yeah, Leonardo. What about your actress? Who would you pick for an actress to do?
I think Emma Stone would be really fun to work with.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her, or if this was being directed by Tim Burton, I love the girl that always plays opposite Johnny Depp in his films. I don't know her name, but she's usually playing opposite of him.
Uh,
In the
uh,
Disney movie, she's the girl. Ugh, I don't know her name,
we'll
but I like.
find it.
Yeah,
We'll
I
find
like.
it. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let me catch up here with the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Frog wants to know. He wants to know if he could, if he could have your autograph. Frog, you're amazing. You want her autograph? See, that's what I mean. You're a star. Let's see. Yeah, if anybody wanted to get your autograph, how would we do that? Do you have? Is there any way that people can get? Can they reach you? And if they
Um.
want to get something from you?
So the easiest, I guess, my email is on my Instagram bio. Like, just shoot me an email.
Okay.
Like,
Yes, and I can tell you she's very quick to respond. So yes, I can tell you that. Definitely. Uh, so okay, so now we're going back to Fable because we're not done with that yet. So here you are, you're doing an anthology film, and it was pretty different, wasn't it?
yeah,
Because you had four or five different stories that you had nothing to do with.
yeah.
You
It was a little
know, so,
like when Min presented the project, I didn't fully understand it, but then eventually I did. Yeah, I had no idea what that kind of movie was about, but
did you get to go to Bulgaria with them?
no, I wish.
Oh. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever gone out of the United States yet?
Just in Mexico and Canada. Oh no, I lied, in Jamaica.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
three countries. There you go. There you
yeah,
go. So is it safe to say that you'd love to travel?
I do. I love it. I want to start doing it more. I do love traveling.
what are your five favorite places to see on your bucket list?
I want to Australia. I would really love to go just to England. Thailand. I'm trying to plan a Thailand trip sometime this year.
Okay.
Um a fourth place, somewhere just super tropical. I don't know, but just something like those like huts that like sit on the ocean.
Right. So
Something,
you can look down and see the big shark swimming
yeah,
underneath you.
yeah. Something obnoxious, not really a specific place, but something like that. And then I don't know. I think it'd be really kind of cool also to visit some type of like not a third world country, but something that just like really makes you like humble, like appreciate what you have in America. So I don't know where yet, but something like that for an experience. Like my friend was telling me, I forgot where he went, but it was like it was so poor. Like he has to check his bottles of water to make sure that it's not like reused and resold. Because
Right,
at one like he bought water and it was like poisoned almost. Like that's how like little they have there.
right,
So
right.
make you
Do you like the auditioning process?
no. No, I don't know. It's not that I don't not like it. I'm a big and I'm working on this. I'm a big self-sabotager and I don't prepare properly.
Now why would you do that?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
think?
I have no idea. Fear.
Do you think it's look at it this way. Look at success like a clown.
I know. I should. I know. I'm working on it. I'm getting better with like really taking opportunities and really diving fully in. But I do think that's one of the things that I don't enjoy about like that process is because if you want a good audition, you really need to prepare for it, and I don't do that.
Is it hard for you to memorize lines?
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's hard to create, and I didn't really have this experience until Fables. It's so hard to create a character out of nothing. Like when you watch a movie and you can like mimic something that's already done and like you have something like that's easy, but when you have nothing, it
Yeah.
is it's so hard, at least for
I could
me.
I could see that because I mean correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I can understand that because there's not a whole lot out there for you to go off against. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, no,
you have, as far as actors go, you think about it, you have Peter Dinklage.
mhm.
I don't think there's any woman, little person on that level. I mean, if I'm wrong, someone correct me. I'm trying to really wrap my mind. I just know that, I know Peter Dinklage is, he's just absolutely the preeminent.
He's
uh,
amazing.
Yes, he is. Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's good.
but
Yeah,
there's no women counterpart to that for you
yeah,
to
well,
draw upon.
what I mean is, like, when you're reading a script, like, as far like, because you're not only just memorizing the lines, you have to create, like, how do you say it? And then you gotta also, like, memorize their lines so you know when to say yours. So it's like it's so much more than just memorizing it because you don't have any kind of structure to follow. Like, do you say this line with enthusiasm, or do you say this with a little bit of like hesitation, or do you say this with anger? Like, it's so much more than just memorization. So it for me, like it is really hard.
Now, do you take how many scripts how many scripts a year do you usually get?
None.
Really, really, no
Yeah,
one
it's
tells you anything.
like my first experience. Like men giving me a script. That's it.
Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about asking men to give you scripts that maybe that aren't going to be used or in the past? Because he's got tons. He's got
Oh,
tons.
like practice with.
Right.
I have not thought about that, but that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. I mean, have him say, "Hey, this is not being used. Can I use this? I want to improve my craft." And you go ahead and he gives you like 5 or 6 scripts, and you just work off that. You work on your technique.
That's a really good idea, actually. I might have to do that.
But that'll be just make sure remember me during when you get up for the accept the Oscar.
Yeah, I'll be thanking you.
Now the thing about it is too is like you are fearless. I mean we have to give that up. I mean you know we have to. Oops, I got froze here.
Am
There
I
you
for
go. There you go. You have to, the first time that you decide to, start modeling. I mean, where do you think what made you more nervous, being in front of the camera in a bikini, or being in front of 200 or 300 people on the set of Oz, or in front of in front of like some experienced operators like in clown theater. I mean, what you're able to just walk in there and own it. It's like you don't let it stop you.
yeah.
So, I mean, where do you think that fearlessness came from?
I think just growing up and always kind of being in the public eye in a way, just for being different. Like I've always just kind of had to show up. I don't have a choice. Like I have to be fearless in that way. Just I've always grown up with a lot of attention, a lot of eyes always on me. So
Did you get any feedback from any of your peers when you after you did your first two movies? Did people come up to you? Did they say you're an inspiration, or like how did you do that, or were you scared? I mean, do a lot of people know who you are in your community?
um so as far as community, what do you mean? Do you mean like just like my friend group or like
Yeah, I mean everybody wants to be represented, right?
yeah.
And that's what kills me when I see all these right wingers. They're always talking about woke. It's like, dude, you don't even know what the word means, so shut the fuck up. It's like this is really what pisses me off about them. It's like, here you go. Here, let me give you a real close example what woke is. All woke is basically people wanting to be recognized for what they do,
Yeah.
be represented, to be able to go to a theater, or be able to go to even to go to a campaign to watch a politician speak, or go to hear public speaking or whatever, and see someone like yourself up there giving that speech or whatever. Now, there's not very much representation for little people as far as Hollywood goes.
Right.
So here you go, whether you like it or not, Lola, you are representing, and you are now something that a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to be a role model. Well, you know what? A lot of people don't want to be a lot of things, but you
Right.
are. If
Yeah.
you do the work, if you go ahead and do the work, that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Part of the deal is you are representing. You
Yeah.
are you are now the face. Um, is that something that excites you, or is that something that excites you, and you welcome it?
It
I,
does.
I think it is, because I just look at your modeling pictures and I'm going like, like I said, it's fearless as you go out there and say, this is who I am. This is, here I am. I'm just as pretty as anybody else. I'm still as sassy as anybody else. I'm still as sexy as anybody else. Deal with it. You
Yeah.
know. Um, does that empower you? I mean, how much does that empower you and encourage you?
A lot. And I do get a lot of like Instagram wise, I do get a lot of positive feedback. Like
Hmm.
my comments are usually pretty decent and I've gotten like private messages of like from other little people that are like, wow, they have said like, you're an inspiration, or they've asked for tips. Like girls have reached out to me and they're like, I want to get into like acting or modeling or just entertainment. Like what tips do you have for me? And I just tell them what I did. I'm like, everyone's their own person, but this is what I did. So yeah, I like that. I do try to like, I just kind of want to inspire people just to be a better version of themselves, whatever that looks like. That's what I'm just trying to do. Whatever makes you happy. Like you're here for yourself. Don't let other people create your story.
Right.
Like it,
I definitely agree with that. All right, let me scroll back over here because I have. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, the Three Musketeers. Star-Lord. Even the Iron Mask. Leo looked younger than everyone. Yes, he looked like a kid. He looked like he was just. Yeah.
was pretty young, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really young. Really young. That movie actually got made before Titanic, and then when Titanic came out and had the success, then they released it afterwards to take advantage of his star. Um, yep. Even though he was, see, Eden says he's got 250 movies. Okay, we're all going to Eden's house we're all going to
Yeah.
his house for movies. Who's bringing the popcorn? Frog, such a great and wonderful actress. Thank you, Frog. You're the man. Uh, let's see. Star Lord says, do not go to Somalia.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. Talking about some of the others, little people actors. Warwick Davis. Yes, Warwick
Oh
Davis. Yep. Um, I like Warwick Davis, but he's no Peter Dinklage.
no,
He-
Peter.
he-
Like Peter is.
he's amazing.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I like
Um,
that he takes himself like he wants to be serious. He doesn't do the goofy shit.
no, no.
That's what I really like.
Um, his Tyrant on Game of Thrones, just a masterclass of acting.
Yeah, he's
I mean, just didn't matter, just amazing acting. Um, see, yeah. Woke is the past tense to be awake. That they means they're behind. Yeah, well, that would be pretty much the GOP, right? I mean, they're way behind.
Uh,
So yeah, I said it. I said it on here, and of course, if somebody from the right gets their feelings hurt,
yeah.
well, what can I tell you? Uh, uh, what's next for you? What's going on with you? Let's say for the summer. What do you got plans?
Oh, I am just. I honestly, well, hopefully, I am a part of a live performance show. This musician, DJ Ashba, he used to be Guns N' Roses. He took over for Slash. He has now gone on his own path and created his own like genre of music called GDM, guitar dance music. And now he's like releasing all of his stuff. So we've done two live shows now. And
Um,
hoping that this summer, like he is trying to get a residency out here in Vegas. Hopefully, even past that, maybe like EDC. Fingers crossed. So that's like the new adventure that I'm seeking out.
have you gone to have you gone to many shows since you've lived there? Like, have you gone to see Celine Dion sing or
No,
anything?
no. I mean, I've gone to shows for sure. I definitely have seen a little bit of everything: concerts, like the performing arts type shows. I've seen, yeah, I've seen a healthy amount. A couple Cirque shows. My most recent one was the Beatles Cirque. That was awesome. That was really cool. Yeah, you gotta take advantage of that stuff when you live out here because it's like the best.
Yeah, I definitely can see that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
my favorite concert I've seen since being out here is Bruno Mars. I saw him. Yeah,
yeah, I watched the Celine Dion her residency. They released a home. They released for they released the show on Blu-ray, and I got a copy of it from the library.
nice.
And yeah, as long as she just sings, she's awesome.
Yeah,
It really sort of shocked me, and to me, it's like we're talking about how certain things are really hard for you still because you're still overcoming it. And I looked, and just to make you feel a little bit better, here you go. You got a veteran performer like Celine Dion. I mean, she's been in front of millions of people saying it and everything else. But if you ever watch her in between the songs, she's horrible. She's
is
just
she?
she's horrible. She can't. She has no connection with her audience.
Oh, see, I don't like that. I only honestly like know one of her songs. The Titanic song is the only thing I even really know by
Yeah.
her. Like,
I mean, she's a beautiful singer. I mean,
yeah,
she could belt it. She's awesome. But man, in between the songs, whether they're doing the costume change or the set change or anything else, just
uh,
to engage with the audience.
that's
And it's just like you think it'd be a natural, like a Taylor Swift or whatnot. But no, so it just shows to you that, doesn't matter how long you've been in the business, there's always things that still are going to come up there and still, come obstacles. You just have to overcome them.
yeah, for sure.
Let's see. I mean, when you think about it, movies in the past 30 years have been woke without them even called woke. Yeah, of course. Yep, you're right, Star Lord. You're absolutely right. All right, last round for questions for our guest Lola. If you have any questions you want to ask her, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. Um, so it seems like to me like you're really enjoying your life, and it's really cool to be able to talk with you. I've been excited for this ever since Min said, "Hey, I got two people to talk to," and so I was really excited to talk to you. And he said, "Here's Madison and here's Lola," and I'm going like, "Okay." And I got to be honest with you, I was so jazzed to be able to talk to you.
Yeah, you're so sweet. Well,
Yeah, I was like, I know everybody's gonna like Madison because Ben would say, "Has she contacted you yet?" And I'm like, "No, no." No, but Lola did. She
yeah,
did it right off the bat. Anybody that wants to come talk to me is gonna be my new best friend, my new big toe.
yeah, that is
So I was
fun.
really happy about that.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you reached out to me and you wanted to have me. That's
I do believe that oh definitely we'll have you back. Hopefully by the end of summer. Maybe maybe we'll hear by the end of the summer we'll figure out what Min's going to be doing with the second installment of
Yes,
Fable,
yes,
Tales of the Witching Hours. I hope it gets a home release is what I'm really hoping for. I really want that to get released for home market.
yeah,
So people can actually go out there and buy it.
yeah,
Because I like to buy it. I'm not much of a streamer guy. Says I'll give you a streamer and play.
yeah. You like to have
I'd be better off if you just send it to me.
right.
Um, so all right. No last questions. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank the chat for coming out there and blowing things up for us today. It's been awesome. You guys been rocking it out. Thank you so much again, Lola. Lovely to have you here. You're the perfect guest. I can't thank you enough for coming out and hanging out with us and answering some tough questions too,
Yeah,
and doing it with a lot of gusto. Um, and I got to give myself a pat on the ass too for actually having the nerve enough to ask you. Uh,
I'm
but
happy you did.
yeah, because I'm curious. That's what I am. I'm a nosy son of a bitch. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna ask her what she feels about that.
Hell yeah, I'm an open book. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So we will be seeing you tomorrow night here on the show. Tomorrow night we have actress and stand-up comedian Lauren Faulkner will be with us tomorrow night at
Ooh,
8 o'clock. Do you know Lauren?
I don't,
Uh,
but it's still exciting.
yes, Lauren's gonna be fun. She's gonna be fun too. It's to me, it's like I've seen some pictures of her. She looks like she's doing some thriller movies, like
Oh,
some Lifetime movies. At the same time, she's a stand-up comedian, which is
that's
like I really think it's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be like okay, so like how do you? To me, it's like here you are in a really tense scene, and all of a sudden you just find yourself dropping a joke. It's like
that's like the
how do you
ultimate.
stop yourself from doing that and
That,
you cracking up the whole
that,
cast?
that's talent right there, dude.
Yeah. All right. So tomorrow night we'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for Women in Horror Month. Thank you so much, Lola. Stay right where you're at, and to the
Okay.
chat, I'm going to say good night, and I will see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Lauren Faulkner.
Thanks.
Thanks
Bye.
and peace.